Welcome to 15K plus random movie reviews, where we take random movies from Metacritic's 15K plus movies to randomly watch whether we like it or not. Hello and welcome to episode 16 of 15K plus random movie reviews. This is Colin.
And this is Niall.
And this is random movie number 13,369 in Metacritic's all-time movie list. It's called The Sisters from 2005/6. I keep on getting the different dates from different websites, so that's annoying me before I even started to watch the movie. It's got a Metascore of 40 and a user score of 5.5. It runs for 113 years. And
Yeah.
All right, so the director of it is Arthur Allen Seidelman. He directed Hercules in New York from 1970.
Which was actually a terrible movie, but substantially better than this one.
Yeah, and Arnie's first movie. So it's
well, not his first speaking movie, though.
Yeah.
That's the best part of that movie. Can we review that instead?
Hopefully it comes up at some point.
Yeah.
He was titled Arnold Strong in the credits. So
accurate, I suppose.
And so I went down a rabbit hole because this is great because we just go down these different avenues when we research. And so I watched a trailer for where they use his original voice, and then they actually released it with his dubbed voice dubbed over him. And so it's just interesting to see what sort of voice they dubbed him over with. So
it's not the most masculine of voices, to be honest, compared to Arnold's very strong Austrian or macho, and then somebody who's basically a geek, I suppose.
Yeah. So Mr. Seidelman is a TV movie factory, and he really hasn't done a lot of stuff in the mainstream.
Very much like a TV movie. I know it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
But
certainly is.
It feels it's got the same sort of quality to it.
Yeah, big time. It shouldn't really even be a TV movie either, but we'll get into that as we go along. I just want to say that some people might find it interesting to listen to this, that he directed 5 episodes of Murder, She Wrote.
I missed that.
Which reminded me, there's a couple of flashbacks during this movie, and it reminded me of a Murder, She Wrote flashback. He puts a bit of like Vaseline on the lens and just calls it a flashback. Yeah,
that's high quality production right there.
Yeah, let's get to that later on, the production values. I do want to mention that this, anytime you look at the blurb for this, it's inspired by Anton Chekhov's Three Sestry, which is my Russian accent, but the Three Sisters. And guess what I did over the weekend?
You read it?
I read it.
You crazy man. In Russian?
Yeah, in Russian. Da.
An original copy from 1901.
Yeah, I dusted it off the top bookshelf at the old bookshop in the middle of town, and no, I wasn't going to read it if it was like 5,000 pages long. It was like 90 pages long, so I was like, all right, I'm going to crack this one out over.
Yeah, well, he was a playwright.
Yeah.
It was all going to be short.
Yeah. So it's I liked it better than the movie that we are about to review. I thought it was a bit more. I don't know. There's a bit more substance to the soliloquies they pontificated about during the play, and that's the big downside of this. This shouldn't be a movie; it's a play, because there's so much dialogue that just sort of
doesn't work. The dialogue,
no,
it seems injected, and it doesn't fit the story. It's unbelievable. The characters coming out with what they're saying is just not how people talk ever.
No, I was, but you'll find that they actually use the same characters' names. The sisters' names are the same. The brother's name is the same. Weirdly, they changed Natasha's name. The hated the sister-in-law to Nancy. I don't know why they would do that. But I enjoyed reading Chekhov's play. There's a couple of quotes I want to read you from them because they didn't make it into the movie, sadly. I quote, "And how I wish I could prove to you that there is no happiness for us. There shouldn't be, and there won't be. We should only work and work. And as for happiness, that is the lot of our far-off descendants."
Yeah, that's pleasant.
That's 1901 in Russia for you. Here's another one for you to just make you happy and to think about life in general. "They only eat, drink, sleep, then die. Others are born and also eat, drink, sleep. And so, as not to be stupefied by boredom, they enrich their lives with nasty gossip, vodka, cards, petty disputes, and the wives deceive their husbands, the husbands lie, making it look like as if they see nothing, hear nothing, and this overwhelming banality weighs on the children, and the divine spark goes out in them, and they turn into the same pitiful, indistinguishable corpses as their fathers and mothers."
Wow.
Yeah, so it's good light reading.
Cheerful chap, Earl Chekhov.
Yeah.
He sounded like a top bloke. Like the money he made, like he was a doctor primarily, but he didn't get any money for doing it. He worked for free, and all the money he earned was via his plays.
Yeah, and he's got 4 major plays that make up his famed work, and they all deal with nostalgia and meaning, and none of that comes forward in this movie. He died of tuberculosis, I believe, 1860 to 1904. So fair play to him. He did well. Anyway, back to the movie. I don't know why, but like there's a bunch of small festivals that gave some nominations for this movie. I don't know why. And then Tribeca, which is probably a well-known film festival, as I
it is, yeah.
Yeah. Nominee for Best Narrative Feature, whatever the hell that means. I don't know what that means.
I'm wondering, is it just because of the playwright's name stuck on the front of the cover?
Probably. Yeah. I looked up the guy that did the screenplay for this, but he basically just did the movies that Seidelman did. 6 Dance Lessons in 6 Weeks, that movie from 2014. I watched a trailer for it. Yeah, I watched a trailer for it. It was diabolically bad. Anyway, so the plot in a nutshell for this: 3 sisters,
and a brother,
sort of. There is no plot.
Yeah, it's garbage. It's all set in 90% of it's in the faculty room.
Yeah,
which kind of annoys me because what the F are they all doing in the faculty room? Some of them don't even work there. Get out.
Well, they mention it in the blurb. It's their dad's townhouse, but that doesn't make any sense because they mention it. It's the staff room, so it's like
it's the staff room of a college or a university.
Yeah.
They talk a lot about their dad's house and wanting to move back in it, but the blurb is wrong. They don't show the townhouse. Well, that's not true. The flashbacks briefly show a glimpse of the townhouse, but
yeah. So it's boring from the start. It basically starts off with they're setting up a surprise birthday for Irene, the youngest sister, and they do this every year. So it's just, why bother doing it? Because she knows it's a surprise, and that's it. And like they're just waffling on to each other, just waxing lyrical and trying to sound intellectual and blah blah blah.
They all try to score points off each other by correcting each other's grammar.
Fun.
Because they're intellectual. That's what intellectuals do, apparently.
Yeah. I hated Olga, the oldest sister. Basically, she would like, there was a section of the movie where they're in a bloody supermarket buying paper plates, and she comes out with this one-liner about life and blah, blah, blah. It's like, this is stupid.
Not a supermarket conversation.
Get out of this store. We're closing.
In fact, we're closing the store now forever. That's just it. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody waxed lyrical in aisle 7. Let's clear up shop. Let's go. For some reason, the dad, who's dead, and he comes up as a device throughout the movie, a very bad device, and weirdly just evolves into some abusive thing, harking on back to our last episode.
Yeah.
But Vincent, his old TA comes in and goes, "Oh, I remember all of you as young girls.
What a creepy jerk.
I was just popping in just to say hello," and they're all going,
And then
"Oh,
with you.
yeah."
It's really creepy.
And he's just
Everything about him is creepy.
he's wooden as well. He's just
Oh, he's
so
too. Well, come on, who isn't in this movie? Wooden. Like, everything's two dimensional. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure the actors in real life are cardboard cutouts of themselves.
Yeah, so then like he comes in and Marcia, played by Maria Bello, who's one of the most horrible characters in cinema history. And I've seen Schindler's List.
She's worse.
Yeah.
The Nazis would have been running from her.
She introduces everybody in the room, and I'm like going, "What the hell? What? Who's what? Sorry, like he's the professor of what, and what's his name, and who's that?" It just goes around the room, and like, sorry, I don't know anybody. You just went through everybody, and I just couldn't pick up anybody.
Problem is, in an ordinary movie, it might work, but I just didn't feel like caring.
Yeah, this was like in the 5th minute.
Yeah. Straight away, I was like, oh no, you've lost me after 30 seconds.
And so, like, they really tried to get Eric McCormack's character, Gary, to be this sarcastic dialogue, wedge into the dialogue where somebody says something boringly philosophical and he tries to say something sarcastic and funny, but it just turns out to be cheesy crap as well.
Yeah, and I kind of rate him better than the role he plays in this. Not that I love him as an actor at all, but it's just he's got nothing to work with. The dialogue is just it doesn't work. He's only got one thing, and that's being a sarky fecker, and there's no other dimension to him. Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, it just came across as drab and lifeless, the dialogue, and like they tried to make it work. I could see the cogs behind their lifeless eyes working to try to make it work, but it just didn't. But
Rip Torn, in his defense, tried a lot, but again, he had nothing to work with.
Well, here's the thing about Rip Torn. Like, I was like, near the end of the movie, I was like, is he trying to do an accent?
Yeah, I got that as well. It kept coming in and out, didn't it?
Like, okay, he's Russian, or he's Southern. Like, is it from one of the southern states in America? I was like, I couldn't be bothered then working at it. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we're at the start of this surprise birthday party, and Nancy, the hated sister-in-law, Andrew's fiance, comes in, and for some reason Marcia just jumps on her and starts trying to retell her life story very badly and annoyingly
to the creepo Vincent chap for some reason, because he needs a backstory of everybody.
And
it's exposition. That's what it is, but it's exposition that doesn't fit and isn't needed. Like, Vincent doesn't care.
My thing was Vincent just kept showing up to life things like he stayed for the party. Fine, okay, right, fine.
That was weird, him staying for so long because he wanted to say hello to the daughters of his dead workmate.
Yeah,
and that's hello, bye-bye thing.
And he sticks around in the hospital later at the event that we'll get to. And it's like, go home!
Go home, Vincent. You're drunk.
Yeah, he probably was, actually. Yeah, so that sets up Marcia and Nancy hating each other. And then, yeah, like, their three sisters all hate her. Like, it's ridiculous.
The only reason I can see that they hate her is that she's not as educated as them.
Yeah, she's got that, New Jersey accent.
Yeah, okay, it can be a bit grindy, I suppose, but that's not a reason to hate a person. No, what it made me do was hate them.
Yeah, true. Like, they just weren't likable. I was with Nancy on this one.
Nancy. Well, I won't go into it now, but I was Team Nancy all the way. Not that I liked her character all that much either, but of all the people in it, she was kind of my least hated.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I personally like the window pane.
Oh, we'll get into that character later, but he was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Came out of nowhere, left field.
Yeah, nobody sees the window pane coming from the
No.
Spanish Inquisition.
The great thing about the whole Marcia and Nancy sort of tit for tat storytelling of their life is that Nancy actually just booms Marcia with a horrible retelling of how she met her husband Harry, and she gets the one up big time, and then she does it at the end too. So it's great.
Yep.
Irene pops in. Oh, it's my birthday. Great. Let me blow out the candles and I'll make a speech. Oh, Dad used to say blah, 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 blah. And then we find out, yeah, she doesn't remember Dad. Sisters just told her what Dad said, and it was all lies, basically. They just protected her from Dad. So,
that was a bit of a
yeah. So, like, then we see these sort of weird camera angles of when Irene goes up to David, played by Robin himself, Chris O'Donnell, who's another wooden actor in this. They just full on kiss, Irene and David, for some reason in this one, and then you see this smouldering, hateful look from Gary, like a TV movie angle.
How dare you score with that chick that I fancy?
Yeah. So then Andrew, Nancy's wife, Nancy's fiance, goes over. Andrew goes over to Marsh and just like has another fight with them. It's drama with a capital D and exclamation point, and everybody's angry with each other. It's full on. And then for some reason, Irene plays the piano.
Again, I think this is more of the pretentiousness just bubbling up. You know, I think she's playing some like Beethoven or something, and why?
Yeah.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that then?
Yeah, and here's one after the piano interlude finishes for some reason. It's just some sort of tool. He said, "Oh, I must break these scenes up a bit, just like in a play. Like Chekhov would have wanted this for me to do this."
No, Chekhov would not have wanted you to go anywhere near this.
Yeah, he's rolling in his gulag as we speak. Yeah, so it kind of fast forwards 5 minutes, and Vincent is cleaning up, so he's still sticking around. It's like, go home, get the hell out of there. But I think he wants a bit of Marcia at this point.
He does. It's so obvious.
They have a massive conversation. They just have a long conversation, and I don't know what they say to each other because it's just not interesting.
But he must have 20 years on her if he was working with her dad. So
yeah,
just no, go home.
He doesn't even look like he's older, much older. You know?
He doesn't. No, not really.
In the middle of all this discussion dialogue, there's a Murder, She Wrote flashback to Marcia walking down the stairs, and her dad at the top of the stairs calling out to her, and she just turns around slowly. I'm like I wrote down, what? Stairs?
Yeah.
We find out later.
What reveal anything? It doesn't really leave any questions because there's nothing to it. There's just two people on stairs.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, it's a really, really vague flashback exposition, and it doesn't really do anything to the storyline. This is around the 30-minute mark, dear listeners, so we're flying through this. So we see then Irene went home and David stalked her. He's standing outside her bloody apartment block like a I don't know what.
Stalker.
Yeah, like a stalker. There's no other words about it. And for some reason, then Irene collapses. She's a freaking crystal meth addict.
Yeah, where the hell did that come out of?
Like she doesn't
get the time to get whacked out on meth. And here's the thing: they call it crystal meth, and then they call it something else. I can't remember.
Speed.
Yeah. No.
I was going to mention that later in the thing because I laughed out loud at that moment because of the way it was delivered by Eric McCormack. He said, and they're asking him what was it or something. Crystal meth, speed.
No,
I was like, yeah.
None of the drug, like clearly. What's his face? The director chap, author, knows nothing about drug use. But he writes it in anyway.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not up to my drug vocabulary, but speed isn't crystal meth, right?
No, but the effects of it aren't right either. I haven't taken either. But I know enough to know what
And,
happens isn't what's going on there.
and don't you smoke crystal meth? Because they said she had track marks in her arms.
Yeah, and none of it fits. It's just.
Well, I've seen pictures of crystal meth addicts. She didn't look like one. She looked like a
You have a
model.
teeth, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't look like she was 75 years old, hobo living on the streets. Anyway, so she collapses, and they all end up going to the hospital. I don't know why. Like, she's conscious, and
Here comes Vincent.
Vincent's there because they actually kissed outside. Marsha fell in temptation,
And Nancy cops it.
Nancy spies when I'm like, oh, go on, good on you, Nancy. Well done, you've got one on her now. So yeah, Vincent ends up going to the hospital too. So everybody ends up going, even though they'd all left. They all go, oh, okay, let's all go to the hospital and wait around doing nothing because we can't even see her. But they do go in, and they're in the hospital, and Vincent tags along, of course. Yeah, I mentioned with the crystal meth speed, there's like there's a facial reaction that I'm going to have to screen cap as well. That was terrible. And then the two sisters go into bedside, and of course Olga waxes philosophical lines, throws them at her, and good old Irene says, "Are you seriously doing that right now?" So she called her out on it, thankfully.
Yeah. I just get the hospital scene drags on 10 minutes too long. I think it's 10 minutes in total.
like every scene.
Yeah. Like there's no substance to it. Them all being there, like Rip Torn's character turning up.
Yeah, what's he doing there? He's drunk as well.
Yeah, I don't get that.
But the sisters end up having a fight when they were.
Well, that's every scene.
Well, yeah, but like, Irene doesn't like being babied. They've babied her all her life, and that was her problem. Jerry and David get into a fight because Jerry loves Irene basically and wants to be with her, and so Jerry and David just basically.
Yeah, he didn't like. There was that kind of accusations of you're a bit of a stalker, aren't you?
Yeah,
and he can't really defend himself there because he is.
Yeah, because he tried to reword it as well. He said, "Oh, I escorted her home."
Uh-huh.
And well done, and
so
Gary saying
meters behind in the bush.
Yeah, I was like, well, yeah, good spot there. Yeah, so then Andrew and Nancy go in to Irene, and Irene's just there. Let's all go to Charleston. I want to go to Charleston. I want to recover from my crystal meth addiction in Charleston.
In the house I don't remember.
Yeah. So they're going, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever.
Great idea.
But you can see Nancy's face in the background. I kind of like that. She was like going, what the hell is she talking about?
Which I agree with.
Yeah. So then we have a big exposition. Marsha and Olga have a fight with each other out in the bloody corridors. So there's fight upon fight upon fight. And then
there's no reason for this fight. Not really. It's just more exposition. With no point to it other than
no logic.
By the way, I was molested and you're a lesbian.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that, but I'm laughing at the script.
No, but yeah, that's the point. Like it's ridiculous. That's not the conversation you'd have in the hospital.
But it was like trying to one up each other. It was like,
yeah, but that doesn't make sense in that point in time.
No. They've no trust, basically. That's what the end of the conversation is. We've no trust in each other. I love that then they all went home and arms in arms with each other. And then there's like a scene from Nosferatu. These fingers come around the door, and it's Gary sneaking back into Irene's room.
Yeah. I was a bit worried. Now, what's he say? He just sits in the back and goes, I love you.
Yeah. He's like Nosferatu. I couldn't believe they were doing such a stupid thing with the fingers just wrapping slowly around the
I thought this was going to be something more insidious. You know, it's classic horror, Hammer House of Horror style thing.
Yeah.
And no, he just comes in and says, "I love you," and then scene's over. But
yeah,
why?
So we're in the 60-minute mark now, and we are treated to a slow-mo montage of a lot of life events. It's amazing to see Gary getting really angry and throwing a chess set away in slow motion. And then we see Andrew and Nancy's wedding, where we see Vincent again turning up for another life event.
Yep, in the background, even though the woman he's seeing and her husband are there. I'm pretty sure he knows about it. So why? What?
Yeah. Then we've got like this stupid, unnecessary slow-mo honeymoon scene, for want of a better word. It's just like, yeah, we get it. They're married in their honeymoon. There's really no need to show much more
There's
process.
a bit of a sex scene as well, and the first thing that pops into my head is Team America.
Never saw it.
Well, it's just they have in Team America. It's just this awkward puppets having sex thing, and that's what this feels like to me. It's just weird, awkward. Why is this happening? Thing. Yeah, it ain't sexy.
Yeah, my favorite part of the slow-mo montage of everybody's life events was Gary getting angry at the piano and it making a funny piano thunk sound. That was funny. I like that one. What happened? Yeah, we flash forward then, and we're getting into the to the last scene.
We're back in the faculty lounge. We've spent a couple of minutes outside it, which must have freaked out the budget or something. I don't know, because we're back to the lounge.
Yeah, I love the way the green tree turns to autumn tree.
Oh yeah, that's some cinematography right there. Like
that was like
Orson of time out the window.
Orson Welles, eat your heart out. So yeah, we go back around to the start, and Rip Torn is reading headlines out of a newspaper. He did this in the first few minutes of the first scene of the movie.
Chuckling to himself as he hears about horrific stories of people getting mugged and stabbed and stuff.
Yeah, and Gary goes nuts. He's like, "Shut the hell up!
Here, have a book in the face." Whack.
Whack. He threw the book at him.
Hey!
So we find out then that Marsha and Vincent got together. It was like 6 months or something they were together.
Yeah.
And
not for much longer.
No, he couldn't do it, man. He has to go back to the wifey because he doesn't want to lose his children. And this scene drags on forever.
Oh, yeah. Especially after he said goodbye to the two sisters, and he's just standing in the background, and he's like, "Can you walk me out? Get a taxi, baby?" No, F off, Vincent.
Yeah, it's constant. It was 15-minute drawn out bye-bye scene. In the meantime, this is what I mentioned earlier. Irene and Olga go out to get party supplies, and Irene is questioning her partnership with David in such a philosophical, arrogant, stupid manner. It's just everything that is wrong in the movie is this scene right there.
Oh yeah.
Underwhelming scenario, underwhelming dialogue, and pretentious, bloated words. Crap. What else? Vincent left. I don't care.
Marsha's in bits.
Oh no! I picked up one quote from him when he was leaving. That was absolute garbage. He basically he describes the three sisters as close and mutually supportive.
That's exactly what you would say in that scenario.
That's exactly what he said, and I said, "Did you listen and listen to their arguments over the last 6 months? You pretentious douche nozzle."
Yeah, it wasn't. I wish my kids could grow up to be as mutually supportive as you sisters. No, you don't wish that on your kids, you git. That's a horrible thing to wish on anybody.
And everyone's crying. That all the sisters are crying at her at this departing, and Marsha's like, "All right, get lost," but then she breaks because she's the feminine, frail character, and she has to bow to the masculine love interest, so she runs after him stupidly. And then his parting words are, creepily, "Goodbye, my girl."
Yeah, that's just not nice.
What was funny though was her mascara just went down her face in a millisecond.
Yeah, yeah.
That was funny. And then she just says, "I'm all right," and then walks back in.
That's over.
Yeah. Then I just have something. I just said, Olga has some other quotes. She says something, and Marsha just turns on her and says, "Shut the hell up again! Stop! You're an English professor with all this barrage of philosophical things." It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, everybody's at it. Look in the mirror, love.
she says something in a very poncy way, but it's, you'll be grand, shut up, is basically what she says.
Yeah. Right, we're around the bloody 90-minute mark here. Like I was looking at the timer, and it's like, Jesus Christ, I have 20 more minutes of this at 90 minutes. Andrew arrives, and he's sold a house.
Good on him, I say.
Yeah.
Have some money and shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of a bit of a dick move. Sell the house, don't consult anybody. But let's remember, that's the house where one of the sisters was molested by the father. Why would you want that house?
Yeah, everybody talked about it, but nobody ever went to it.
Yeah, it should be a house of horrors to them, not something that brings fond memories.
Irene didn't even go there. She's got no memories for it, and she's the one going, I want to go there and live there and work from there.
So that bit makes no sense. They should have been delighted getting loads of money.
Yeah, 175 bones each. Giddy up. But then the dialogue then even just was so stupid here. Andrew even says, because they're all arguing with him, he goes, I'm a grown man now.
Yeah. It is pathetic.
Anyway, Marsha and Nancy go full circle and have their last beatdown, and Nancy just wipes the floor with them all.
Yep. Basically, no interest in being part of this family. I tried for my husband, but you're all horrible people. I'm out of here. Bye, jerks.
See you later. Yeah, that's it. And then Andrew slowly follows her, and she's like going, why did you wait so long, you absolute idiot?
No, she's bang on there. It's the worst family ever, and when bad things happen to them, it makes me happy.
Which is the last scene of the movie, and it's great. Gary comes back in, and he has a big breakdown because he loves Irene, and he hates what's his name, David. And so
Rick Dorn tells him, maybe you should leave now because you're acting.
After he invites him in, though, after he comes in, he goes, "Here, have a drink." Okay, I think I will.
And then he kicks him out. But then,
go ahead. You can describe the scene.
Oh, this is the only scene that made me happy, and I laughed for the wrong reasons. I'm pretty sure the director didn't want to elicit a chuckle. But Gary goes back into his office, starts filling up papers or doing some professor stuff, because he's intellectual. But he gets really angry again and just kicks the door open, comes running out, grabs Irene's fiance and jumps out the window with him.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. For no reason other than F you, mother effer. But he's outside and he's on top of him and he's not moving. And he's like, ooh, whoopsie. And he kind of wanders off.
Yeah, he runs away. We don't see him again for the next 5 minutes left of the movie. So then they try to. I loved it. That was funny in itself, but then I loved it even more because they somehow took a couple of shots of them reacting to it. The beautiful. 3 sisters. It's amazing, and I'm gonna clip it and have it, and I'll post it on our Facebook page because it's so funny. It's ridiculous. Of course, they stop Irene from going out. No, don't go out. Don't go out. He has a cut on his forehead.
Slight concussion, cut on his forehead. I did steal a quote from near the end. Oh yes. So she does go out eventually. The paramedics are there. They've loading him up into the ambulance.
Yeah.
And she starts talking to her fiance, and the paramedic says, no, don't bother talking to him. He's got a serious concussion, ma'am. He can't hear you. Weird thing for a paramedic to say, anyway. But then she goes, yes, he can. He's my husband. Okay. Stop being, don't tell a paramedic how to do his job. F off.
I'm a liberal arts student. He can hear me.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
And the two sisters that are left, Olga and Marcia, hold hands together, and it fades to black.
Yeah. With a flashback to the three sisters when they were younger, and everything's all right, and this is fine.
Oh yeah, no, that flashback told a lot because they were protecting Irene in the flashback from the.
Because the daddy says, "Bring her here," and they're like, "No, she's safe with us."
Yeah, and then obviously the post-credit scene. You saw that, right?
There's a post-credit scene. I turned this thing off as soon as I could.
Yeah, no. David leaps off the stretcher and shoots Carrie.
Oh man, I would love to see that.
Like Die Hard.
Then he puts on his Robin suit. Hey, Val Kilmer, you're not supposed to hear. You're the wrong Batman. That would be amazing.
At the minute, I thought of it the second I saw it. It's like, okay, just like the end of Die Hard when they're the guy leaps up. That could be amazing if David did that.
Yippee-ki-yay, out the window.
Yeah. I gave the plot 0.25 out of 5.
I gave it 0.5 because there was a couple of words I didn't understand.
Right. And just so you know, Chekhov's thing is better, and if people want to read that, they probably should do that instead of watching this one. Same sort of maudling. No, actually, no, it's not. It's better. It's a lot better than.
It's also set in 1901, Russia. So
yeah, this shouldn't have been Hollywoodized, and it shouldn't have been a movie.
No.
Acting. Let's just run through. Elizabeth Banks. Recently, I saw Cocaine Bear. She produced and directed. That was bad as well. Did you ever see it?
I really want to see that. I have not seen it.
It's not as bad as this. It's funny in times, but it's
what's not to like? It's a bear with cocaine, not finesse, not speed.
Speed. No, it's it could have been a lot better. I think it's the script. You're gonna go.
They're playing no.
No, it's just it doesn't hit the mark.
Snakes in a plane, sharks in a plane.
Sharks in a plane. I'm sure that actually exists. Actually, I was looking at it.
Doesn't going to make it.
Yeah, Red Letter Media YouTube channel put out a video yesterday, and they were going through. Basically, there's a theme nowadays that D movies and horrible movies will just use words in their title to get people to watch them. So a lot of hot horror movies will have Conjuring in the title now, and Shark in the title. I didn't see sharks on a plane though.
Not yet.
I saw one of the examples was shark Ouija board.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah. Anyway,
sorry.
Yeah. Maria Bello plays Marcia. She's in Coyote Ugly and History of Evidence. She was bad in this movie. So Erica Christensen plays Irene. She was in Flight Plan. She's played one of the flight attendants in Flight Plan, the Jodie Foster Strange movie, which I thought was okay. Eric McCormack, Will and Grace, obviously. Chris O'Donnell, Batman. But he's obviously in a lot of 90s movies, Circle of Friends and Fried Green Tomatoes. Alessandro Nivola played Andrew. I think he has one of the best names for a character in a movie. In Face Off, he played Pollux Troy.
Yeah. He was the main bad guy bro in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him in that. I don't like him in this.
No, I don't like anybody in this. Rip Torn. Why do I keep on saying turn? It's not a bird. Rip Torn.
In any good movies?
Well, 30 Rock, Larry Sanders Show, Men in Black, Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. That's its pinnacle, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mary Stuart Masterson. She was also in Fried Green Tomatoes, and she's going to be appearing in the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's video game.
That could be terrible.
Adaptation. Yeah, who knows? Probably will be. And Vincent, Tony Goldwyn, he's going to be in Oppenheimer.
Get out of town.
Yeah. He was terrible in this, and he hasn't really done a lot of good movies since, but I gave the acting 1 out of 5.
I was a bit more cruel, a 0.5 for me.
Oh, Jesus, there's something wrong with the movie if you're below me.
It was just brutal.
All right, sound.
So I was
Sound.
going to say, in their
Oh, yeah.
defense, they had very little to work with, but they didn't elevate it.
No, I don't know if anybody could. Sound brackets track. The music was terrible. Thomas Morse. He puts in. All right, I have a problem with Thomas Morse, and he's going to hear about it now. So he puts in his CV that he composed or orchestrated the score of The Amazing Race, and it's one of my favorite reality TV shows. But if you Google it, he didn't. I think he composed the stings of music during a couple of episodes in a certain season or certain years or whatever during the episodes. I don't think he did the main Amazing Race theme, but it's very hard to find out. But like another guy's name pops up for it, but he has it front and center in his CV, so it's very whatever, you know.
Well, I'm guessing his actual CV is cat. You know, it's rubbish. I can't imagine. You know, if he's even got to write 2 notes for it, he'll stick it down there just to. He
scored this one, and it's either Orson Welles or Marlon Brando. Their last film, he scored the music for. That's his claim of fame too. He puts that in the CV front and center too. But this movie sucks. I gave it 0.5 out of 5. I don't know why I gave 0.5.
I give it 0.5 out of 5 as well, because it has things like Beethoven, Brahms, and Robert Schumann. Because I do like a bit of those. It can be used well in movies. They're not used well in this.
No. You can listen to the Sisters soundtrack on Spotify. It's there. Please go and listen. Yeah. In production, I didn't write anything in my notes because I just have a general vibe of it's terrible. I hated the production. I hated the flashbacks. I hated the one scene. It shouldn't be a movie. I hated the choices they made with the camera angles, and the staging of people in the movie. I didn't like any of it. I enjoyed the terribleness of the Murder, She Wrote flashbacks, where, as I said, he just wipes Vaseline over the camera lens and everything looks blurry.
Which is the best part of the cinematography. But there's nothing in it. Like, as you say, it's lazy cinematography. They're not trying anything. They don't do anything interesting with the camera angles.
No. I didn't look up the cinematographer's name because I didn't want to waste my energy on it.
Credit.
No, it's probably not credited. It's probably like the actors did it.
Happy not to be listed under it.
Yeah. 0.5 out of 5 for production.
Same as.
All right. Some website called Reader or something, or a magazine. I don't know what it is. J.R. Jones he gave it 20 out of 100. He said, "The result is an insufferable academic cocktail party of declamatory speeches coaxed to life in its middle stretch by the incredible Maria Bello, who wades in like a paramedic at a disaster scene." So he's actually giving credit to Maria Bello. I don't think that's warranted.
No, it's not warranted. It's not enough to give anybody in this.
Mick LaSalle at the San Francisco Chronicle gave it 75 out of 100, and he was he was soon carted away after this. He said, "Intelligent
and speed at the same time."
Yeah, he said, "Intelligent, observant entertainment designed for an adult audience."
Oh,
yeah. I think he basically saw that it was based on Chekhov, so he wanted to make sure he wasn't giving a low mark.
Yeah. Well, if I say it's intelligent and it's Chekhov stuff, well, then people think I'm intelligent too.
Exactly. All right, let's forget about the Sisters forever, I hope.
Yes, please.
And, of course, I will... let's roll now for the next movie and see what it brings up.
The Four Sisters.
9247.
Ooh.
We might get an okay one with this. Okay, 9247 is a movie called Concussion from 2013. It's got a 56 Metascore and a 6 user score. The blurb is, after a blow to the head... Sorry, I don't know why that's...
Already a good movie.
Yeah, after a blow to the head, Abby decides she can't do it anymore. Her life just can't be only about the house, the kids, and the wife. She needs more. She needs to be Eleanor.
Okay, is it like Me, Myself, and Irene?
I don't know. It's directed and written by Stacey Passon and starring nobody I know. So Again, this is going to be another tricky one, I'm guessing, to get through. It's 96 minutes, so it's a bit less than 113 minutes of The Sisters, which is good.
Yep.
All right.
It doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies either, to be honest.
No, it's just going to be one of those average movies that we will struggle through. But anyway, it's entertaining to crap all over them.
It's the best part of this.
Yeah. All right, that was episode 16 of 15K plus random movie reviews. Please leave a rating and a liking on whatever podcast platform that you listen to us on. It will get us out and about, and hopefully more people will listen. So we'll see you on episode 17. Bye-bye.
Bye.